good. Like your grandpa, boy.
With an insatiable love for food and infinite lives, Homer Simpson was born into the animated surreality of The Simpsons. In this video, we're going to trace the roots of Homer and how he evolved from a pizza-eating baby to a robot in his literal golden years. This is the life of Homer Simpson.
Brink's got Homers like the Tuileries.
Birth. It is no secret that Homer Simpson's birth was an accident. Born into the family of Abraham and Mona Simpson, he developed a knack for food instantly. His love for food would later become a defining character trait. Well, that, and his love for beer and TV.
Dad, there's a bug on that.
Age 6. Crayon snortin. When Homer was 6 years old, he snorted 15 crayons up his nose in a risky childlike experiment just to see how many he could fit into his nose. Well, he got his answer. Only 14 crayons ended up in Homer's nose, because as it turned out, one of the 15 crayons found a way to his brain and lodged there for years. The crayon in his brain greatly influenced his life decisions and was the reason he was always slow. However, he gets this crayon removed from his brain when he is an adult, but has it surgically reinstalled because the intelligence that he embodies without being limited by the crayon is just unbearable.
16! Woohoo!
Age 9. Where is mommy? Mona is a doting and caring mother to Homer, or should I say, was. You see, Mona got herself into a hippie rally against Burns' germ warfare laboratory, where the hippies set off an antibiotic bomb. This caused the hippies to trample on Burns while they were scampering away from the bomb, but only Mona stayed back to save the poor scientist. However, Burns repaid this kindness with a lethal threat that forced Mona to flee from Homer and go into hiding. This abandonment results in Homer spending the rest of his childhood days with his grumpy, loveless dream crusher dad.
I'll miss you, Homer.
Age 10. First meet cute with Marge. As Homer shares the true story of his first kiss, we are transported to a summer camp called Camp See a Tree, attended by underprivileged kids in the 60s, 50s, or possibly the early 70s. Whatever the year, Homer was 10 in this animated surreality. During his time at Camp See a Tree, Homer encounters a camper from the girls' comportment camp across the lake, known as Camp Land a Man. This camper and Homer strike a connection, but they never get to see what they look like. Regardless of that, they meet secretly in the woods and share a kiss. Surprisingly, neither Homer nor Marge realizes that his camp girlfriend was, in fact, Marge herself. However, it is worth noting that Marge's blue hair was brown because she tried to straighten it with an iron. Homer had an eye patch because he stabbed his eye with a switchblade, and they were both using fake names.
I just thought of the greatest move ever.
Age 12. Trauma. One fateful day, when Homer was 12, he and his friends ventured for a swim at the quarry and stumbled upon a rotting corpse. This event traumatizes Homer deeply. It is later revealed through a contemporary investigation that the deceased individual is Waylon Smithers Sr., who valiantly sacrificed his life to prevent a potential disaster at the newly established Springfield nuclear power plant. In the 2001 episode, The Blunder Years, Homer's repressed childhood memory surfaces when he undergoes hypnosis at a restaurant and finds himself screaming in horror for an entire day and night.
Oh my God! Ah! Ah! Ah!
Age 18. Official meet cute with Marge. Let's delve into Homer's in the vibrant year of 1974. During this age, Homer was a high school senior, and on one occasion, he was caught smoking marijuana by his principal and sent to detention. It is here that he meets Marge Bouvier, who had been in detention for burning her bra during a feminist protest. For Homer, it is love at first sight, and he goes to great lengths to get closer to Marge. He even goes as far as providing her with references to prove his worthiness. Simpsons. Homer seizes an opportunity to spend time alone with Marge when he pretends to struggle in French, asking her to tutor him. Their interaction sparks a connection, leading Homer to ask Marge to the prom. However, his deception about needing her help in French ultimately leads to Marge slapping him and ending their relationship. During the prom, Marge has a worse experience with an indecent nerd, Artie Ziff, causing her to have a change of mind about Homer. In a very romantic moment, Homer amends her dress with a flower, igniting the first genuine spark that would lead to them being soulmates for life.
Once you stop this car, I'm gonna hug you and kiss you, and then I'll never be able to let you go.
Age 21. That 90s show. Homer and Marge find themselves residing in the same apartment, and when Marge secures admission into college, Homer takes on a job at his father's laser tag establishment to cover her tuition fees. However, once Marge begins her college journey, she develops feelings for her professor, leaving Homer behind. A broken-hearted Homer then forms a grunge band called Sadgasm. The group then rises to superstardom. Funnily enough, music is one area that Homer has never failed in his life. Marge eventually realizes that the professor she fell for is not who she believed him to be at first. So, she dumps him and comes running back into the loving arms of Homer.
There'll never be a worse president. Never.
Never!
Age 28. I Married Marge. Homer's early entry into fatherhood came as an unexpected surprise during his 20s. In 1980, Homer found employment at a miniature golf course. Interestingly, it is within the confines of a castle on that very location where Homer and Marge engage in a rumpy-pumpy that leads to pregnancy. Shortly after, they proceed to get married in a less than reputable wedding chapel.
Homer?
And
Marge.
in holy matrimony, beautiful.
Their wedding reception is less than spectacular, spending it at a truck stop. However, Homer makes it up to Marge in their later life with a second wedding, surrounded by their friends and family. With a strong need to provide for his family, Homer applies for any job that he can get. Due to many failed attempts and desperation, he pressures Burns for a job at the nuclear factory. Later on, we see him rushing to the hospital in time to see Bart born, but he is greeted with fire to his thigh.
So, will you marry me?
Yes.
Age 34. Homer's Barbershop Quartet. Homer is now in a barbershop quartet with Principal Skinner, Barney, and Chief Wiggum, a very unlikely bunch. After their smash hit, Baby on Board, the band is catapulted into stardom. They travel the world collecting awards, but their time in the spotlight soon fades. Inbound politics and fights creep into the group, causing them to split up. The band does get back together in a heart-touching moment to perform on top of Moe's bar. Even when he reaches insane fame, Homer wants nothing more than to be with his family.
To paradise with my baby.
37. Family Man. When Homer receives a fat paycheck, he quits his job at the nuclear factory, and he was brutal at his boss, Burns, when he did it. Shortly after quitting his job, Marge became pregnant again. Then, the realization hits him. He needs enough money to cater for a larger family. This makes him return to beg for his old job back, and he is humiliated before he is given it back. Despite his flaws as a parent, Homer always comes through for his family, no matter what it costs him.
A girl! Oh, Marge, we have a wonderful baby girl!
Age 40. Cloned. At this age, Homer dies from falling down the stairs while he is trying to lose weight. I guess he lost more than weight. Well, that's it for the video. Please make sure to like.
Homer is not dead.
Well then, the life story of Homer continues. 54. Lisa's wedding. While studying at college, Lisa falls in love with Hugh, and before long, they fall in love and plan for marriage. Hugh eventually has to meet and share dinner with the Simpsons, even share a risky ride through a one-way street at Springfield. The day for Lisa's wedding arrives, and Homer says to Lisa,
You're my greatest accomplishment, and you did it all yourself.
On the other hand, Hugh expresses his distaste for her family. He even goes as far as telling her that he plans to estrange her from her family. This makes Lisa call off the wedding. Homer has always shown his love for Lisa, right from when she was a toddler, to the moment she almost got into a somewhat bad marriage and beyond. Age 59. Death again. Homer dies again after he is shot by the police when they mistake him for an armed robber. Death didn't stop him before. Why would it stop him again? Age 69. Holidays of future past. Homer gives up drinking and spends his days making ships in bottles. At this point in time, Bart is a grown man with an ex-wife and 2 kids. He then seeks the help of Homer to look after his sons. Homer accepts, and then we get to see how he performs the non-negotiable role of being an awesome grandfather. This is a huge contrast to the way he parented Bart. Normally, he'd squeeze the life out of Bart, but we see him hugging his grandsons with so much care. Age 70. Days of future. For the millionth time, Homer is dead. But this time, there is no way for Professor Frink to bring Homer back, except by downloading Homer's brain onto a flash drive. So, Homer now exists as a floating head on a TV screen. Years later, he is given a robot body, so he can become mobile. This newfound body enables him to be a more fun grandfather. At the end of the episode, Homer is a gold robot in his golden years.
After 35 years of marriage, we've finally gotten it right.
Yes.
Age 79. Father and son healing. Yes, Homer has his body back. What were you expecting? That he'd keep being a robot? In this episode, Homer and Bart finally reconcile after his turbulent relationship with Bart. After years of toxicity between the two, we get to see that Homer was just projecting his insecurities on the poor fire-loving Bart.
Oh, Dad, you're back! Just in time for my recital!
Somebody kill me.
That's it for the video. If you have watched up to this point, then you should definitely subscribe and tap that notification bell so you will be the first to know when I bring another video your way. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. See you in the next one.
Don't forget me.
Don't worry, Homer. You'll always be a part of me.